COVID-19, the inauguration was postponed, and finally today, this Monday, 8th of November, is the official inauguration of the new building of the Ministry of Land Management. We will get to you and give you the update of the official inauguration ceremony as we are on standby for the speech of the Prime Minister of Cambodia. Hun, good morning to you, Hun Siriwat, our EAC News reporter, standby on the side. How is the situation right now at Sinsok District as the Prime Minister is due to give a speech for the inauguration ceremony of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction? This is a new building of the ministries. How is the situation right now? How about when it comes to the security, what is your observation for the security around the Ministry of Land Management and Urban Planning and Construction? As what we have seen, this is a very nice area, and is the road still passed?
Because we come here in the morning, the road is still clear for us to get in, but we have some kind of difficulty to get in the front of the ministry because when we get in the front, the guard tell us we have to move back to the ministry, and about the parking lot. About the safety protocol, the security protocol, we see that many police are deployed and many sniffing dog to searching for ammunition, and also the search for scan for the ammunition also.
I just wanted to clarify all the guests, all the participants for today's event undergo a rapid test. Is that correct?
Yes, we have to do a rapid test before we get into this building. About 200 people are attend here today.
How about the Prime Minister? Do you have an estimated time or an information what time the Prime Minister will arrive in the new building of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction?
I did not get the information about the time the Prime Minister will come yet, but nearly soon. It's about 7:30 a.m. this morning. The Prime Minister will be attend.
As far as I know, the previous building of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction was located in Chamkamon district in Phnom Penh before. Do you think how many kilometers is the new building right now compared to the old building of the Ministry of Land Management? Do you have an estimated kilometers?
Maybe according to my estimate, it's about 15 kilometers from the old building in the Chamkamon.
So it's really quite far.
It's quite far, but this building is very nice.
Yes, I have seen that too, that it's like when you are in front of the building, it's totally very, very nice, and you are in a different world because it's like resembling really a kingdom, and it's just exact that we're living in a kingdom of Cambodia, and the building of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction was really very nicely designed. So right now, can you give us how is the guests and the visitors waiting from the Prime Minister? Are they all excited for the inauguration?
Yeah, the people are very excited because now is we can say the first time after the COVID-19 infection in Cambodia, the ceremony, the meeting between Prime Minister and the people are very slow, or sometimes he cannot meet the in this public like this. This is where many people are come attend here today. They take a selfie, they take a photo. They very happy that the light are getting back, the meeting are getting back after the Prime Minister announced to reopen the country in the 1st November this year.
Before the past few days, we have seen that a lot of people, not only Cambodians, are visiting the area because really it's very nice, and there are also people trying to do the regular exercise in front of the building. Have you seen if there are still people in the Ministry of Land Management today?
Because today is the inauguration ceremony of the ministry, that's why they have the safety protocol. We did not see any activity of the people doing exercise in the front of the ministry today. But maybe in the evening or tomorrow we will see it again.
Okay. How about the officials, the senior government officials? Have you already seen few of them or many of them arriving in the Ministry of Land Management as of the moment?
I spot some ministers. They are all sitting in the podium in the state already. There are many high-ranking officials, ministry, secretary of state are already attend to this morning.
When it comes to the safety protocols, again, is mask and vaccination cards really being checked before entering the venue?
The truth is no. We did not check about the rapid test and be free to go.
Okay, so but I'm sure majority, if not 100% majority of the audience or the people present in the ministry as of the moment are all vaccinated, and as I have seen, the Prime Minister is already outside the Ministry of Land Management, the Urban Planning and Construction. So soon, the long-awaited message for the inauguration. And this has been how many months? It was supposedly 4th of April, the scheduled inauguration, but it was delayed because of the COVID-19 situation. So March, April, May, June, July, months of delay for the inauguration of the new building of the Ministry of Land Management and Urban Planning and Construction. So I can see Prime Minister is already cutting the ribbon, Hun Siriwad, at the building. So it's finally inaugurated. So we are just waiting for the announcement and speech of Prime Minister for official inauguration of the new building of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction as of the moment. So it started, the construction of the building was started last 2020, so it's actually very fast, the construction of the new Ministry of Land Management building. It was previously located in Chamkamon district in Phnom Penh, but the old building is now being transformed into Phnom Penh Land Management Department. So it is still being used, the old building, but because of the scope of the tasks and responsibilities of the Ministry of Land Management and Urban Planning and Construction, so they are moving into a bigger and wider area because they are catering a lot of responsibilities and a lot of tasks for the royal government. So the Prime Minister is already at the venue. So Hun Siriwad, how is it right now?
Now people are preparing for the welcome to the Prime Minister. The sound of the drum that welcome to the Prime Minister are very clear. Here right now that we are willing to welcome him in a few seconds. Now the speaker are telling us to prepare for the welcome to the Prime Minister, that he will be in the conference halls very, very soon.
Do you have any idea how many floors is the new building of the Ministry of Land Management?
about four floor.
And it's really quite big
Yeah,
building.
very big. Yeah.
And it's not only government building, but it's really an unique, and its architectural design is really very nice, that it's very enticing for people to visit the area. So as far as I can see from the live here, Prime Minister is already and urban planning and construction as over the new building of the ministry this morning, this Monday, 8th of November 2021. So thank you so much, our EAC News reporter Hun Siriwad, who is giving us the situation report live from the Sinsok district of Phnom Penh, as the Prime Minister is going to deliver a speech, not only for the guests present inside the venue of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction this morning, but also for the whole Kingdom of Cambodia, as this is already 7 months delayed of the previous schedule of inauguration of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction. Safety protocols were being implemented this morning. All the guests, all the visitors were they underwent a rapid test. That is to make sure that no one is carrying the coronavirus and will spread. It is also to prevent the spread of the virus inside the venue, as the Prime Minister will be attending. And this is a very huge event, because this has been awaited a moment for almost a year, actually. Building 2020, so it's quite fast. So we're back again to our EAC News reporter Hun Siriwad. How is the situation again right now at the Ministry of Land Management?
Yeah, we still are preparing. People are silent, and we right now the Prime Minister is coming. We are welcoming.
Thank you so much, our EAC News reporter Hun Siriwad. We will now hear the speech of our Prime Minister Hun Sen as he is about to enter the venue for the official inauguration of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction building. This is the new building located at Sinsok district in Phnom Penh. It's Street 307, and the Prime Minister is already being welcomed by all the guests right now at the Ministry of Land Management. So we will hear the message of the Prime Minister in a few minutes. Along with the Prime Minister are his senior governmental leaders of the Royal Government of Cambodia. Just information, the road surrounding the Ministry of Land Management are surrounded by security personnel. A very secured area is being implemented right now in some parts of Phnom Penh near the especially the front of the new building, because of the coming of the Prime Minister this morning. So we will hear his message very soon here live at EAC News Channel. Inauguration of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction this morning at Phnom Penh, Cambodia's capital. The Prime Minister will due to give his speech.
So the leaders and the officials of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction is very pleased, is very honored that we have the event presided over by Samdech Kep Mahasanapati Dajo Hun Sen, Prime Minister of Cambodia, to join this of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Constructions. I would like to please invite Samdech His Excellency Lok Chum Tiêu and ladies and gentlemen to stand for the national anthem of Kingdom of Cambodia.
គោរព សូមអរគុណសូមគោរពអញ្ជើញសម្រួលអេរយាប័តខ្ញុំបាទសូមគោរពអញ្ជើញឯកឧត្តមជាសុផារ៉ាឧបនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីក្រសួង
Minister of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction to deliver the remarks, the welcoming remarks and a report of the construction of Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction. My sincere respects to Samdech Kep Mahasenapati Dacho Hun Sen, Prime Minister of Cambodia. My respect to Samdech Kralahom, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Ministry of Interior. My respect to Samdech Pichai Sena, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of the Ministry of Defense. His Excellency Lok Chum Tiêu, Deputy Prime Minister, Senior Minister, Ministers, His Excellency Lok Chum Tiêu, the head of the 9th Committee of Senate and the Parliament, His Excellency Delegate, Secretariat, Under Secretary of State, His Excellency Mayor of the province, His Excellency Lok Nyal Tiêu, Councillor, all official under the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Constructions. Today, the management and the officials of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Constructions is very privileged to welcome Samdech Kep Mahasenapati Dacho Hun Sen, Prime Minister of Cambodia, in this official inauguration ceremony of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Constructions. Express our gratitude and would like to extend our warmest welcome and with our proud over the presence of Samdech Kep Mahasenapati Dacho Hun Sen, Prime Minister of Cambodia. In this opportunity and in this meaningful event, our inauguration ceremony held on Monday, which is on 8 November 2021, while Cambodia is now getting ready to celebrate the Independent Days, 9 November, and the 30th anniversaries of Paris Peace Agreement, 23rd October 1991 and 23rd October 2021. Having our Samdech Techo as a core actors in this. So in this event, I would like to express, to concrete the official launching of the note of 30,000 real, which is an historical event for our Khmer people for later generations. Kingdom of Cambodia is now having the national unities under the full peace, which is the outcome of the sacrifice and devotion and the effort of Samdech, including the departure on 20 June to topple down the regime, the genocide. So the first of the establishment of the liberation movement back in 1978, the leadership, the restoration and the development of the countries from zero. The launching of win-win policy 29 December 1998 has united the countries and has ended all the civil wars which has been happening for a very long time. It allows the countries and the people to live peacefully with dignity and development, with the continuous development for all sectors. I would like to wish all the Buddha, to all the force, to provide all the good wish, blessing to Samdech Akep Mahasanapadai Dacho Hun Sen, Prime Minister, to be healthy, longevity, and intellectual, to continue leading Cambodia and Cambodian people to the prosperity in the future. So the official of all ministries, armed force, and all the peoples believe that the permanent existence of peace and stability, of political stability, is very priceless. It is the foundation for Cambodia to to continue embarking on the human rights respect, the promotion of rule of law, democracy, economic development, and the poverty reduction. During this the process, the period of global pandemic COVID-19, the royal government of Cambodia under the leadership and the direct command of the Samdech Akep Mahasanapadai Dacho Hun Sen are able to manage the situation through imposing rigorous measures with efficiency and effectiveness in treating the patients as well as the vaccination, to people for free,
ខ្មែរនិងជួនបរទេស
as well as the expats
ជាប់ចំណាត់ថ្នាក់ប្រសើរ
living in Cambodia, which is ranked on the top, one of the top in the world. So our official inauguration ceremony today is the testimony of the success and the achievement of the royal government of Cambodia in combating against COVID-19
ឈលលើមូលដ្ឋានគ្រឹះ
by adhering to the socio-economic development adherence, so that we are now reopening the economics step by step for all sectors.
សម្ដេចតេជោនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រី
Samdech Techo, Prime Minister,
គោរពដល់ខ្ពស់បំផុតសម្ដេចឯកឧត្តមលោកជំទាវ
Samdech Adam, His Excellency Lok Jem Tiew, ladies and gentlemen. So the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Constructions
បានគោរព
has
ការដ្ឋានសាងសង់ថ្ងៃ
has
ទី28
started the groundbreaking ceremony back in 28 January 2020.
មានរចនាបថ
This building use
ចនាឡើង
the design and the style follow the infusion of mixture infusion of style, including
សម័យទំនើប
traditional Khmer and modern Khmer, with the decoration of the Khmer style and Khmer based design, and it is built on the land of 4.5 hectares,
133.7 ម៉ែត្រ
and the length is 138 meter, and the width is 134 meters,
8ជាន់
and there are 8 floors.
កម្ពស់សរុប
So the height
ពីទ្រទំនប់ខ្សាច់ដល់ចុងកំពូលបុស្បុក
from the ground to the top
5ម៉ែត្រ
is 88.5 meter.
បុស្បុកមានកម្ពស់ 33
So the top ceiling is 33.8 meters. So the
28 ម៉ែត្រ
surface is
ផ្ទៃកន្លាសំណង់
1,380 meters.
642 ម៉ែត្រការ៉េផ្ទៃកន្លាប្រើប្រាស់សរុប
So the total area is
408 ម៉ែត្រការ៉េ
31,408 square meter.
37 គ្រា09%សួនជ្រាបទឹក
For the garden, 30%.
មានសន្ទុះប្រើប្រាស់ 1.04
For the usage is 1.4. For the parking is 678,
តូចក្រយាន
and a lot of parking space for motorbike. For the office space has been organized for based on the function of the construction. So the ground floor
សាលបដិសណ្ឋារកិច្ច
we have the
ឋានឃ្លាំង
work, the library, the hall, the training center, and a one window service,
ការរំដួលជាដើម
and the garden of Rumdual flower.
មានសាលប្រជុំខ្នាតតូចនិងប្រជុំ
So the first floor has the small and medium conference room.
និងបណ្ដុំ
We have inventories and the departments.
ជាន់ទី
For the second
2
floor,
ប្រជុំខ្នាតធំ
we have
នោះ2020
we have the big size conference,
នៃអគ្គនាយកដ្ឋាន
and we have the
ទ្រព្យាករ
the
និងឃ្លាំង
there's the general departments and also auditor. And for the third floor,
នៃអគ្គ
the combination of the general departments and warehouse and depository. The fourth floor, the office of the minister, secretary of state, under secretary of state, cabinet office,
ការអន្តរជាតិ
and international courts, and also conference rooms, protocol rooms, and also the office of the secretariat. The fifth floor,
កណ្ដាល
it's in the middle. So in the middle, there's the meeting for the interministerial meeting.
ស្លាបខាងស្ដាំ
On the left and the right.
ទី6និងជាន់ទី
On the 6th and the 7th floor, there are office for rent for private companies.
7ក្នុងវិស
that are operating their business in construction sectors. So the construction of these Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction lasts 1 year, 1 month and 20 days. It is wholly designed by Khmer people and using the budget of the government of 28 million. So as the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction has achieved and continue to achieve the other important achievement to create the favorable opportunity for business investment and the increase of national income, and also join in contributing into the economic community in land sector. So the ministry has offered 63,000 certificate, equate to 93%. We continue to register the land to reach the 100% by 2023 to ensure the security and the safety of land possession, which is a source provided by the royal government of Cambodia to the people for residing, for growing and investing, to create jobs, to increase their revenues, and also to join hand in socio-economics development. To reinforce the lands mapping, the ministry has created the 60 centers at 24 province and capital. The ministry has been trying to solve the land conflict. In total, total case is 16,340 case. So the National Authority for Land Conflict is now continue to solve the land conflict in Koh Kong province, that it will reach the final outcome very soon. So the urbanization and construction, the management and developing of coastal area, the management of construction sectors, the construction of other projects, and also the development of the average price residence, the building of the house for armies and force at the border, and the providing public service to the people has been reinforced. Through the collective experts, so we use them to become a very important resource for operating and performing our main duty and function to reinforce and our support to the policy of centralization and decentralization, and by providing the service as planned out. Regarding the international cooperation, we have been receiving support from different partners such as Japan, supporting in training, law, legislation, and legal document in construction sectors, and providing of the technical equipments for using for our permanent measuring center, and also by providing technical equipment for the experiments center as well. And also using the satellite to manage the land management, and also the development of infrastructure, cooperated by JICA, supported by JICA. For Australia, has support the the support in the safety, health safety and standard and safety standard in the construction site, and also the land distribution for social and economic development. ADB support the land usage at the village and commune area, and also support the import and export of rice as well. So this achievement come from the vice leadership and the guidance of Samdech Dacho and the cooperation of ministries and all all levels, all society at all levels, that provide the opportunity for the ministry to join to take part in the government policy, the rectangular strategy of the government, stage 4, the strategic plan for national development 2019 and 2023, and we aim to achieve sustainable development 2016-2030 and making Cambodia to become a high income country by 2030, and to be a better higher income in by 2050. As the leaders and the official of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude for the support and the belief and the confidence in the leadership with a vice of the vice leadership of Samdech Kep Mahasenapadej Dacho Hun Sen, Prime Minister of Cambodia, which is the compass, which is the guidance for all the ministry and for the all officials. And I would like to announce once again to support Samdech Kep Mahasenapadej Dacho Hun Sen to continue being Prime Minister of Cambodia for the next mandate. To support, to continue building, developing the nation to be more prosperous. I would like to wish all the blessings to Samdech Kep Mahasenapadej Dacho, Samdech Ketek Prat Bandit, and the grandchildren, as well as Samdech His Excellency Lok Tum Tiew, Nek Ok Nha, Lok Ok Cha, His ladies and gentlemen, and the families, to receive the 4 gems of the Buddha, to be healthy, longevity, safety forever. I would like to ask for the permissions to invite Samdech to deliver the remark to the event and to the compatriots. Samdech, His Excellency Lok Tum Tiew, and everyone who are joining this official launching ceremony. I would like to express my warm welcome to all the compatriots who are watching this event. I am very pleased today to join this official inauguration ceremony of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction. This inauguration ceremony planned to be done back on 4th April 2021, but back then it was very unfortunate because there was 20 February event that has been affecting Cambodia that we are almost fall at trap into the depth of the crisis.
ហើយថ្ងៃនេះ
Today,
ខ្ញុំក៏ចង់បញ្ជាក់
I would like to highlight
ពួកបដិជគុណប្រសងគ្រប់
to vulnerables
បងប្អូនជនរួមជាតិ
and all dear compatriots,
នៃអាដាមលោក
His Excellency ladies, Lok Chum Tiu that are here today as well.
នេះហើយដែលហៅថា
This is what we call
ការរស់នៅ
the living
តាមរបៀប
living to new normal during the COVID-19 context. This is a new normal.
តាមគុណលោកថ្មី
This living the new normal during COVID-19.
ពិសាលដែលដាក់បានជាង 2000 នាក់
This conference can welcome around 2,000 people.
តែប៉ុណ្ណោះ
We only welcome 500 people now.
បំផ្លាញយើងបាន
COVID can destroy us, but COVID
ក៏មិនអាចទប់ស្កាត់នៅ
cannot refrain us from going forward.
កូវីដអាចរារាំង
COVID can refrain us temporarily
ខែកុម្ភៈ
from February.
សម្រាប់ការសម្ពោធនៅថ្ងៃទី 4
So we plan to inaugurate back in the 4th of April 2021, and we has been postponed to 8 November 2021.
ប៉ុន្តែ
But
នេះគ្រាន់តែជាការរារាំង
this is
តែមិនអាច
this is the barrier, but it cannot stop us from doing it.
ឆ្នាំនេះយើងសម្ពោធក្រសួង
This year
ពិធីសម្ពោធ
we will inaugurate 3 ministry. The first one is
សម្ពោធកាលពីខែមករា
we have inaugurated back in January 2021.
ទីស្រីការ
So the official inauguration of Ministry of Public Work and Transportation, which is not very far away from here.
ប្រើប្រាស់
So the official inauguration
សាធារណ
of Ministry of Public Works and Transportations
ផ្ដល់ឱកាស
provides allow me to
នៅទីស្តីការក្រសួងចាស់
organize the office,
ឧស្សាហកម្ម
the previous office of the Ministry of Public Works and Transportation, and it has been transferred to the Ministry of Mine and Energy,
ក៏ផ្ដល់ឱកាស
and it allows me to
របស់ក្រសួងរាយ
transfer the old office of the Ministry of
គ្រប់គ្រង
Mines and Energy, and then it's allow me to transfer the old office of the ministry to be the new office of the Natural Disaster Committee Management. And today, the official launching ceremony of Ministry of Land Management, it allowed me to use the old office of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction to offer to Ministry of Rural Development.
ហើយយកក្រសួងអភិវឌ្ឍ
And we use the old office of Ministry of Rural Development to the Department of the Land Management and Urban Planning and Construction. There will be another ministry that have to be inaugurated that will be done on the 23rd.
គឺថ្ងៃទី 29 ខែធ្នូ
That will be done on 29
ជាតិថ្មី
December to inaugurate the Ministry of Defense.
សួរសម្រាប់កលាហោមសខេត
So based on what I
នៅថ្ងៃទី
communicate with
ធ្វើពិធីបញ្ចប់បឋមសិលា
His Excellency So King in the upcoming
ដែលនឹងត្រូវចំណាយ
day,
$1
we will finish the construction of we start the construction of building of the Ministry of Interior as well. We have already prepared a budget for that. We need to have a proper working space. So this is what we are witnessing, what we are seeing, what we know, the development and the progress of our nation.
ដែលយើងចូលមកដល់ទីក្រុងភ្នំពេញ
So when we step into Phnom Penh, so what do we have back then?
សម្រាប់ក្រសួងនេះ
For all the
ក្រសួ
ministries,
ងតិចណាស់ដែល
there are very less ministry that take control of their previous building.
ក្រសួងការពារជាតិ
One,
ក្រសួងចាស់
so in that in that regards, we have Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Economics and Finance.
กับក្រសួងការបរទេស
And for me, I took control of Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. And because it was too small, so I switched to a new place.
ហើយក្រៅពីនោះគឺដូចជាក្រសួងអប់រំ
The Ministry of Education
មហាផ្ទៃ
has been converted to the Ministry of Interior. For the Ministry of Agriculture,
ដែលនៅចិត្តគៀកបំផុតនឹងផ្ទះការនៅសំបង
is the one that is very close
កម្មតែម្ដងគាត់ចោលអាក្បាយចកាមន
to my to the house.
សូម្បីតែធនាគារ
Even the bank,
យើងមានធនាគារឯណាបើធនាគារគេវាយតិច
we didn't have any bank because it was all damaged.
ទៅធ្វើកន្លែងនេះមកឆ្វប់កន្លែងនេះមកឆ្វប់ហើយក្រសួងពាណិជ្ជកម្ម
And the Ministry of Commerce,
អាចចាប់ទល់មុខគាត់ចេះអាដាមចំប្រវត្តិ
His Excellency Chomset
នឹងមួយយកទៅធ្វើអាកន្លែងនោះដំបូងគឺថាគៀនក្រុម
so used that one place for the Ministry of Commerce.
អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំនៅតែគ្រប់គ្រងគំនិតរបស់ខ្ញុំ
So I still support my idea for using the strategy exchanging horse with horse because we don't have any choice. So I use this strategy using the horse to exchange with the horse. So we have no other choice. So we
គឺធ្វើអាគារឲ្យគឺយកអាដីនេះទៅប៉ាន់ជាងចឹងទេអាដីទូចមួយរបស់យើង
so
យកបាន1ហិកតាជាង2ហិកតា
so I think we better switch so our
ទៅប៉ាន់ថ្លៃជាងអាដី
our land our government building our land ministry is still small but it's very expensive so I still support the idea of changing to a bigger area a bit outskirts of town
បង្កើតទៅជាក្រសួង
to create a bigger and a better ministry so that we can use for in the future.
តែទីស្តីការគណៈរដ្ឋមន្ត្រីក៏ខ្ញុំអត់ធ្វើដែរ
So back then, even the Council of Minister, I didn't do it. I said that
មិនមែនកន្លែងធ្វើ
the current demand is not the good working space. The current demand is the investment and to help the people. Even Singame, I also announced I have already request as a leader to be understanding because I need money to construct the road, the bridge, irrigation system, the school, and also hospital. I didn't have enough money to create the stadium. That's why we delayed to 2023. Back then, President of Indonesia commented that it is very right to do that. Now we cannot remain the same. So the house of the people are now people are building more house and bigger and higher buildings. So for us as a government, we cannot remain as it is. So we need to upgrade ourselves to fit with the need and the development of the society. And I would like to express my appreciation and that has been trying to make this happen. This is quite challenging. So I try to reduce $5 million from this construction to help with COVID-19. So with this outcome, this is a very good one already.
ប៉ុន្តែមើលចំណាខ្ញុំឲ្យច្បាស់
You can take a look at my note
ឃើញតែខ្ញុំបុគ្គលហើយ
on the book that I handed you.
ដើម្បីមកទៅសេកន្លែងនេះទេខ្ញុំចេញពីហ្នឹងខ្ញុំទៅជួបរដ្ឋមន្ត្រីការបរទេសរបស់
So after this event, I will meet the foreign minister of Australia. So we will discuss a lot on the both bilateral partnership
ក្របខ័ណ្ឌហួសពីនេះទៅទៀត
and also other platforms as well.
Pacific ឯដល់
And also talking about the cooperation on Indo-Pacific level as well. And now we are having a little bit issue, and
បណ្ដាប្រទេស
there are the concerns of many ASEAN countries on
មានអាវុធនុយក្លេអ៊ែរ
on nuclear free zone.
សុំដែរទៅនៅពីក្រៅគិតថារដ្ឋមន្ត្រីការបរទេស
So
មកគៀបសង្កត់
so some people thinks that the foreign minister of Australia is here to pressure Cambodia. And I just want to inform that this is the right, the privilege of Cambodia whether to give visa or not.
រដ្ឋមន្ត្រីការបរទេសអង់គ្លេសមក
So back then, when the foreign minister of United Kingdom visit Cambodia,
បានទទួល
I didn't personally welcome. Some people criticize that I was afraid of the foreign minister of UK. Back then, I was in quarantine, so I could not make it.
យើងក៏មិនច្បាស់ខ្លួនឯងផង
I was not sure of myself, so I need to quarantine.
គាត់ត្រូវការយើងគ្រប់គ្រងគាត់ឲ្យខ្លាចទៅជាដៃគូជាមួយអាស៊ាន
In return, UK need us to support UK to become a partner of ASEAN. There's no way or no point that I'm afraid of a foreign minister.
បញ្ហាសហប្រតិបត្តិការ
So UK on the trade cooperation
គឺនៅតែ
with us is remain good.
ពាណិជ្ជកម្មរវាង
We have we see the increase of trade volume between Cambodia and UK. I met with former Prime Minister of UK before Brexit.
អង្គុយតបបាយជាមួយគ្នា
So we shared a table at Brussels. She told me that the trade policy of Cambodia and UK and others developing countries, including Cambodia, there is no change.
ណាណាចង់ EBA អត់ខ្វល់
There's
គាត់អត់ខ្វល់
it doesn't matter about EBA or
ដកខ្លួនថយចេញពី
so she just impose a Brexit policy.
ត្រូវកិច្ចវេះពីការជួប
So there's no way that I escape from the foreign minister. If I don't want to meet, I will not allow for that.
ដំណើរមកទៅហើយ
But when she's traveling to Cambodia, when she paying the visit, I was in the quarantine, so I asked for the understanding and apology. And now we have the foreign minister of the Australia. I will be seeing soon. This is not the act of pressure. I believe that this is the explanation.
ហៅថាឪគូ
This is the explanation from the foreign minister of Australia
រវាងអូស្ត្រាលីអាមេរិកនិងអង់គ្លេស
about the relation between Australia, US, and I think this is my assumption. I'm sure that the politician will have the assumption.
តែនៅមានសហប្រតិបត្តិការច្រើន
There will be a lot of cooperation,
ក្នុងរយៈពេលតែប្រមាណ
both bilateral and international. So in the past several months,
800 គីឡូ
we have extract around 800 kilograms of gold.
ពីខែ6
So we have began back in June. So in the matter of several months, we have extract several kilograms of gold. So we will be able to extract more. We are now conducting a survey, searching for more. So this is one of the cooperation. So the trade volume between the two countries has also increased.
ជាមួយនោះ
In this regard,
ជាធរមាន
uh,
ឥឡូវសពចូលជាធរមានព្រោះដែលសច្ចាប័នគឺគ្រប់គ្រាន់ហើយ
So
បានសូសាក់បានយល់ការចុះ
so there was a report from Pan Sosak showing about the sufficiency. So they expressed some countries in ASEAN and our partner
សច្ចាប័ន
to
គឺ
to provide
យើងចូលជាធរមាន
the agreement, so the approval, so that the agreement will enter into force in January, so that we will do more trade with Australia.
នៅមានអូស្ត្រាលីមេកុងនៅមាន
We have Australia, Mekong, Australia, ASEAN, Asia, East Asia.
ចឹងបានជាខ្ញុំអត់មានពេលទៅសេទេ
So that's why I don't have enough time to write.
3ចំណុច
So I note 3 points on 3 points.
ចំណុចទី1
So the first point.
ធ្វើឲ្យវារគាវារបាក់ទៅហើយក៏ប៉ុន្តែ
So the construction of the building is difficult and challenging, but the maintenance
អាគារដើម្បីប្រើប្រាស់ឲ្យបាន
for sustainable use is also another important task.
បើសិនជានៅខាងក្រៅគម្រោងនេះ
So for others constructions and projects, I often make comment saying that making this happen is already is difficult, but making it sustain to make it to maintain it is another difficult task.
ទីចុងផុតធ្លុះធ្លាយ
So we need to we have to
50ត្រាប់
take a good care of it, try to maintain it. We have to use it for like a very long time. If we don't properly maintain it, we cannot use it for long.
ធ្វើការល្អវាប្រសើរហើយ
I also further said that
យើងធ្វើការឲ្យមានប្រសិទ្ធភាព
good working space is good, but effective working is even better.
ថែមមួយចំណុចទៀត
So
សំសំចៃ
I add another point,
អាគារនេះ
saving the electricity and the water. This building is very big, or else
គេមិនប្រើពាក្យស៊ីគេប្រើពាក្យញ៉ាំ
or else
ញ៉ាំភ្លើងច្រើនណាស់
it will
ចឹងទេសូមប្រយ័ត្នប្រយែង
or else the electricity cost will be a lot.
កំពុងតែបើកមិនដឹងថាតើប្រមាណទេអាគារនេះអាចត្រូវការដល់
I think
មេហ្គាវ៉ាត់ឬ2មេហ្គាវ៉ាត់
I think this building might need 1 or 2 megawatt.
តែជាភ្លើងចេញពីធ្វើការអាម៉ាស៊ីនតិចក៏នៅតែបើក
So
នៅតែបើក
so after working hour, if all the devices remain open, that is not saving. So
យើងពេលចេញ
so we can open all the device, like for example AC when we start working, but when we leave, we just turn it off. And
កាន់តែតិចអាភ្លើងវាស៊ី
when we have to also limit on the mode of the AC as well. For example, if you make it very cold, then the electricity will it will cost more of the electricity as well.
គាត់តែលើកឡើង
This is just one of the small point so that everyone can understand this.
មានអាគារធ្វើការល្អ
So we have a good working space now.
គឺវាល្អហើយ
It is a good thing.
ប៉ុន្តែអ្វីដែលសំខាន់ស្នូលរបស់វា
But what is the core point here is the effectiveness of the work.
យុទ្ធសាស្ត្រ
You have to remember the rectangular strategy.
ចុងក្រោយគេ
So the last point of the strategy is the effectiveness.
ធ្វើការល្អបើ
so
ប្រសិទ្ធភាពស្មើសូន្យ
So if you have good working space, but the work is not that effective and efficient, so it's like a zero. Good
នឹងធ្វើការមិនល្អ
good building,
ស្មើសូន្យ
but not good working. It's nothing.
វាល្អ
But if it is good building, good working space, plus
ជាមួយនឹង
good
ភាព
effectiveness,
ផលប្រយោជន៍
so it becomes
វាទៅចេញចេះ
benefits.
អញ្ចឹងកន្លែងធ្វើការ
So the working space,
ត្រូវហើយមកដល់ដំណាក់កាលនេះវាត្រូវតែមានចឹង
we need to have these.
ដល់ថវិកាឲ្យទៅសាលាខេត្ត
I have just provided some budget to the
តែមានលុយតែ
to Sihanouk Vale
ជាង$3 លានទៅទៅ
around $3 million.
អាគារធំៗណាស់នៅខេត្តពិសេសនោះខ្ញុំជាមួយ
So there are many big building at Sihanouk Vale. I talked with Para.
អាចចម្រើនទៅ100ចម្រើនក៏ដោយ
So I said that
ផ្លូវខ្ទេចអាគារខ្ពស់ដល់មេឃ
so
ប៉ុន្តែនិយាយពីផ្លូវគឺខ្ទេច
so there are many big buildings and skyscraper, but the road condition was
ទាំងក្នុងក្រោមដី
in bad condition. Back then I was there to rescue those who were suffer from the collapse of the building.
យន្តហោះទៅប្រជុំ
Uh,
បកក
So back then I was on the plan to join the meeting in Bangkok.
ពេលដែលហើយហោះមកវិញភ្លាម
So I flew back directly.
ជឿមួយយប់ឬពីរយប់មួយយប់
So I was staying over at Bangkok for a night.
គាត់ទៅចេញ
So right after I landed at
ចូលទៅជាការជួយផង
Pojintong, I heard the whisper in my ear. It's like there's something happening, like something happening. I heard the scream, the
ឯកសារនៅលើតុគួយ
people shouting for help.
ឯកសារ
And then I see
ដល់ទៅលេង
the documents.
នៅតិចបងនៅតោកចូលតិចឲ្យជួយផង
I heard the whisper in my ear,
បាយ
like help me, help me.
មួយទឹកគេឲ្យមកបាយ
But then I came to have a meal after taking showers. I told my family there must be people who still surviving.
ថ្នាក់ជាតិរបស់យើងអត់មានចុះទេ
Back then the national authority was not
រ
there.
របស់យើងអត់មានចុះទេយន្តមិននៅវិជាដោះស្រាយនៅទីនោះខ្សែតម្អាលចុះទៅក្នុង
So Saizamal was there as the group leader.
ដឹងខ្ញុំខ្ជិលខ្វល់ប្រពន្ធខ្ញុំក៏ឲ្យយោបល់ថា
So my wife told me I should go.
រៀបចំព្រឹបភ្លាម
So I prepare to wear my
តាមផ្លូវ
uniform and I travel. I had to Sihanouk Vale. So I post on the Facebook. So Liang Kun and Ket Ming donating some money.
បានប្រហែលលានដុល្លារទៅដល់ចុះទៅពីលើឡានគឺថាកន្លែងហ្នឹងគឺកន្លែងដែលស្លាប់អស់មនុស្សប្រហែលហ្នឹងខ្ញុំ
So
ចឹងខ្ញុំ
I
ឲ្យទៅចំអាកន្លែងនោះវងពិសេសបែរជានៅចាំ
So I was arriving at the scene of the barrier, and I point to the building. I believe that I said that I commented that there must be some people surviving over there.
ជួយយ៉ាងហើយដែរយកបានពីដែរ
So at least we could save two people.
វងពិសេសសុំយោបល់ខ្ញុំថាសុំធ្វើប្រតិបត្តិការលះព្រោះមិនអាចមានមនុស្សរស់ទេ
So
ប្រាប់ថា
back then
បើមិនតាន់ដល់
the authority request to conduct the quick operation to manage the scenes. I believe that people can live up to 22 hours, so I believe that there's still some survivors. I was very shocked back then when I left the country.
ថ្នាក់ជាតិចុះជួយ
Like there was no any national authority to visit the site, so I just make decision immediately, and I travel. I had to Sihanouk Vale, and after saving the people, I didn't hear any whisper sound in my ears, and after saving them, I didn't hear anything else. Maybe I have some like maybe it's a sixth sense or something. So we save two people and they are still surviving and they are still healthy. They can talk and they they are not they are still conscious.
អត់មានខ្មោចទេមានជំនាញមកបត់ទៅដោយសារតែម្ដាយធ្វើរោងបុណ្យខ្មោចសម្រាប់ឲ្យ
So
ហើយតែ មរឹកស្មានតកូននៅនោះ
So the families prepare the funerals,
បានកាលហះ
not knowing that the children are still surviving. So back then,
យកអាប្រដាប់កាយរបស់ក្រុមហ៊ុនពុស្នូ
back then there was request to conduct the immediate operation, but I didn't approve that. I was commanding to search for more people for the survivors.
អាហ្នឹងនិយាយបែកហូអូជាស្ទឹងប៉ុន្តែក៏ជាបទពិសោធន៍មួយដែលតកតង
I talk a little bit outside of the box, but this is something the experience related to the construction.
ថ្ងៃក្រោយដែលយើងត្រូវប្រយ័ត្នប្រយែង
So we need to be very careful.
ទៅនៅប្រទេសណាស្លាប់អស់ប្រមាណ
So I also see the news of other countries. There's a building that collapsed. I think it's an old building in other countries.
ខ្មែរណា
It's not only happening in Cambodia, but in other countries as well. And later, there's another case
នៅកែបមួយទៀត
in Kap
យើងទៅចុះ
province.
ពេលវេលា
So, but back then we was there on time.
បទពិសោធន៍
So this is the experience.
ថ្នាក់ជាតិត្រូវតែអន្តរជាតិ
The national level has to intervene immediately to any
ត្រូវជួយគណៈកម្មការ
situation. So the National Committee for Natural Disaster Crisis
សង្គ្រោះ
need to prepare. So now the committee is well equipped with the material and equipment. And there's one person that became the hero, and he's now promoted.
ឥឡូវសាក់បីយុទ្ធជនម្នាក់ហ្នឹងគឺថាយល់រហូត
So one of
បានសក្តិថាអ្នកសង្គ្រោះអ្នកសង្គ្រោះ
so he's the saver. He was there to save people.
បាក់គ្រប់
He tried to save people, and he was not afraid of anything.
អ្នកសង្គ្រោះនៅកន្លែងហ្នឹង
So he is not scared of the building that will collapse and kill him at all. And he was very brave, and he was promoted.
សំណងរបស់យើង
So our construction management has a long history.
ពិនិត្យកាលពីសម័យសង្គមរាស្ត្រនិយម
So from Sangkom Riat Niyom until 1975,
ហើយរៀបចំដែនដីនគរ
the land management, urban planning and construction
ដោយនាយកដ្ឋាននគររូបនីយកម្ម
was
ឋាន
was
ក្រសួងសាធារណៈ
under department of the Ministry of Public Works and Transportation back then.
កិច្ចការនេះទឹកគ្រងដោយមន្ទីរសាធារណការខេត្ត
And this work is under the supervision and management of the department, provincial department of the public work and transportation. And after 1979, we have the provincial department of land,
ក្រុមរបស់យើង
urban management.
យ៉ាវឬក៏ក្រេមីហុងដែលជាអ្នកគ្រប់គ្រងដំបូង
I think it was Kriming Hong
ក្រេមីហុងឬទៅយ៉ាវ
or Tayai.
ទៅយ៉ាវ
I don't remember which one. Tayai.
អញ្ចឹងពេលនោះបង្កើតនៅទីក្រុងភ្នំពេញ
Back then we established Phnom Penh city.
ទីផែនការខេត្ត ទីកសិកម្ម
some
ឧស្សាហកម្ម
some province
1986
it is assigned under different provincial department for different province.
ជាក្រុមប្រឹក្សារដ្ឋមន្ត្រី
So
ខ្ញុំហើយជាអ្នកបង្កើត
so I was the one back then
ឋានសំណង់
I was the one who create the general department of the construction,
ក៏ប៉ុន្តែ
and I
អគ្គនាយកសំណង់របស់យើងនៅពេលនោះ
but back then the
ពីរឿងសំណង់ទេអត់បានរៀបចំអំពីការ
it was about only it was only solely about the land management, construction management, but we didn't care about the construction.
ផ្នែកសំណង់នេះ
After 1993, the construction has been included,
ក្រោមក្រសួងសាធារណការ
has been under the Ministry of Public Works and
ចឹង
Transportation.
បានជាអាដីដែលស្នាក់ការហ្វុនសិពេចនេះ
So the office of Phon Sampek is the land
ខាងអគ្គនាយកដ្ឋានសំណង់
of General Department of Construction.
របស់វាអញ្ចឹង
That's the history.
ដីរបស់អគ្គនាយកដ្ឋានសំណង់
So it was the land of the General Department of Construction back then.
ខ្ញុំសូមជម្រាប
So back in 1988, I would like to tell you all a story about this.
98គឺគណៈបកប្រជាជនជ្រះចា
So 1998, CPP won the election. So I create a ministry.
ហើយទីកន្លែងដែលខ្ញុំគិតរៀបចំនោះ
So
នៅតែខ្មៅ
so I prepare
គេហៅសម្ប
uh,
ត្តិវត្តសាស្ត្រ
in Takmau. So
នយោបាយជ្រះជ្រះ
it's the depository of the document of like win-win policy and other historical and important document.
ជាបេក្ខជននាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រី
So
ត្រូវត្រៀមធ្វើនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រី
So I was back then the candidate for the prime minister. So I was preparing for
ក្រ
that.
សួងទី1គឺក្រសួងរៀបចំក្រសួងរៀបចំដែនដីនគរ
So the first one is the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction. The second one is Ministry of
ធនធានទឹក
Water,
ពេលនោះផ្នែកធនធានទឹក
Water Resource and Meteorology.
បន្ទាប់ទៅអគ្គនាយកដ្ឋានធារាសាស្ត្រខ្ញុំគិតថាបើធ្វើបែបនេះតទៅទៀតមិនដឹងថ្ងៃណា
So
ប្រទេសកម្ពុជាមានប្រព័ន្ធស្រោចស្រពទេ
so I was also creating the General Department of the irrigation system.
ធារាសាស្ត្រផ្នែកធារាសាស្ត្រ
So
មិនដឹងប្រមាណកលៈទេ
there are many
អញ្ចឹងវាមិនគ្រប់គ្រាន់ទេ
steps and barrier for budget for the division to get the money to develop the irrigation system. So then I decided to create the Ministry of Water Resource and Meteorology.
ក្រសួងទី2គឺក្រសួង
So the second ministry is the creation of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Constructions to make it a ministry.
រដ្ឋលេខាធិការក្រសួងកិច្ចការនារីឲ្យ
Back then
ជាក្រសួងកិច្ចការនារី
we upgrade the Secretariat, General Secretariat of the Women's Affairs to the Ministry of Women Affairs, and we upgrade the General Secretariat of
ក្រសួងអភិវឌ្ឍជនបទ
Rural Development.
បង្កើតរួចទៅហើយ
I'm sorry, back then it was created since the first mandate.
ប៉ុន្តែក្នុងអាណត្តិទី1នោះ
But during the first mandate, there were two steps. So for the first mandate,
បណ្ដាអាសន្ន
we create the temporary government.
លាយខ្លួនមុនពេលរដ្ឋធម្មនុញ្ញចូលជាធរវាព្រោះនៅក្នុងដំណាក់
So during the Peace Paris Agreement,
តែវាមានមនុស្សច្រើនពេក
I would like to make a comment on this as well, because there are many people who are trying to be knowledgeable about this, try to make comments on this.
ដល់ចូលរហូតដល់ថាកែរដ្ឋធម្មនុញ្ញពីភាគ3មក50បូក1ខុសរដ្ឋធម្មនុញ្ញ
So we making the amendment from 2/3 to 50 plus 1. So they comment that we are not obeying the Paris Peace Agreement.
អានេះគឺជារឿងដែលគួរឲ្យចោទសើច
This is very funny because they say it's not constitutional to do that.
បញ្ហាឥឡូវខ្ញុំនិយាយអានឹងបន្តិច
So I would like to make comment a little bit on this so that everyone can understand.
កិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីសណា
So regarding the Peace Paris Agreement, I would like to clarify a bit.
ពេលនោះបើរដ្ឋកម្ពុជាអត់ព្រមអនុម័តរដ្ឋធម្មនុញ្ញមានន័យថា
So
តាក់កំពុងជាប់ជើងនៅស្រុកខ្មែរ
so if back then if Cambodia
បើគ្មាន
didn't agree to ratify the constitution,
តាក់នៅកម្ពុជា
so without the facilitation coordination facilitation from the former king, UNTAC still remain in Cambodia. You need to know clearly
ហ៊ុនតាក់អស់ភារកិច្ចចាប់ផ្ដើម
UNTAC
ព្រមកិច្ចការនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
UNTAC finish their
ក្រោយចុះហត្ថលេខាលើកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីស
mandate
ទៅដល់សភាធម្មនុញ្ញ
finish the mandate and the operation in Cambodia ever since we signed the Paris Peace Agreement.
បើនៅក្នុងដំណាក់កាលអ៊ុនតាក់នេះ
So during the period of UNTAC,
អ្នកដែលចង់ហៅ
um,
ចង់ហៅចង់គេហៅ
Those-
ឲ្យកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីសមកគ្របដណ្ដប់វិញ
those who want the Paris Peace Agreement to be effective, it's like you want the foreign to take control of the Cambodia again. If you are Khmer and you are a human, you are not an animal, you need to be very clear on this point.
កន្លែងថា
So the point,
ANC ជាប្រភពអំណាចតែមួយគត់
IMC is the only source of power,
អំពីថា
but there's the clear distinction. SNC is the only power, and SNC follow consensus. So as long as there is no consensus, the head of SNC will make a decision based on
គេហៅថាគំនិតរបស់សមាជិក
the ideas and the opinions of other members. In case
អ៊ុនតាក់ជាអ្នកសម្រេច
we cannot come to a final decision, the head of the SNC will make a decision.
បីដាទេគឺឲ្យអ៊ុនតាក់តា
So
អ៊ុនតាក់
back then, the head of UNTAC
ជឹកអាចិនតៃ
was the one
បញ្ជាវ៉ា
who has the highest power, decision power. And back then, it's the people from the UN who has the power. And right now, the king is the supreme power. Why you want other countries, other people to control of our countries?
អ៊ុនតាក់បានជាប់ភារកិច្ចហើយ
UNTAC
សហប្រជាជាតិជាប់ភារកិច្ចហើយ
has already finished terminate their mandate.
និយាយគ្នា កាត់ទោសខ្មែរក៏អត់មានចែងទៅកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីស
So
ថាខុសទេ
the
អានឹងអធិបតេយ្យខ្មែរ
the Khmer Rouge regime, the Khmer Rouge court is not stipulated in the Paris Peace Agreement as well.
កាត់ទោសខ្មែរខ្ញុំមិនយល់មនុស្សខ្លះ
So I don't understand for some people, they're trying to explain that Paris Peace Agreement,
និយាយចុះ
yeah, you can make free comment,
តាមរដ្ឋធម្មនុញ្ញ
but I just follow the constitution.
បានបញ្ចូលមកក្នុងនោះទៅអស់ហើយ
So all the inputs here,
ខ្ញុំមិនយល់
I don't really understand,
ប៉ុន្តែសូមកុំច្រឡឹមកុំប្រហើន
but don't be rude.
សូម5តែប៉ុណ្ណឹងសូមមកបើ
That's my message. Just you feel free to make any comment, but don't be rude.
ឧទាហរណ៍ដែលមានមូលដ្ឋានផ្លូវ
Example, do you have any legal foundation to make accuse of me? Like for example, the parliament's
2/3មក50បូក1
amend from 2/3 to 50 plus 1 is contrary to the Paris Peace Agreement. In that Paris Peace Agreement, there is no stipulation or any clause about that. They don't really specify about the quorum
ហើយការបញ្ជាទៅកាន់ល្អថ្ងៃក្រោយគេមិនអាច
to run to make it
បូក1ទៅទៀត
to make it
ភាគច្រើន
a democratic society run smoothly.
ហើយតែភាគច្រើន
We will use the 50 plus 1 will not even work as well. But to make it more democratic, we will use the majority.
គេបោះឆ្នោតដល់ការទុកចិត្តចឹងបានគេស្វាស្វែងឲ្យមាន50បូក1
So
50បូក
to make it a little bit democratic, we
គេមានសិទ្ធិទៅវាយខ្នោះ
amend it to 50 plus 1 for decision. So you make the wrong comment, so you can be handcuffed. So please be
តែតើហ៊ុនសែនមិនហ៊ាន
considerate, be extra careful on that.
អ្នកនយោបាយ
I can
អ្នកនយោបាយ
take down.
រាប់យុគរឿងអីខ្លាចមិនហ៊ានវាយខ្នោះ
I'm not afraid of your comments and afraid of you. I can take action against politicians. Why you make excuse to the parliaments that amend from 2/3 majority to the 50 plus 1 is a wrongful act. don't ever try to make such comment.
អារឿងហ្នឹង
I still remember
ថ្ងៃមុនថ្ងៃដែលខ្ញុំចេញដំណើរទៅសៀមរាប
before I traveled to Siem Reap, it was the day that I decided
ដាក់ធ្វើជាបញ្ជីមួយ
to
ពីរហ្នឹង
to make the list of creating these two ministries.
ថ្ងៃ21ឬថ្ងៃ20
It was on 21st or 22nd of September 1998.
ថ្ងៃ24គេបាញ់ខ្ញុំ
អឺ
ហើយខ្ញុំគួរតែរំលឹក
On the 24th, I was shot.
គួរតែរំលឹក
I would like I should remind about this a little bit.
នៅត្រង់ថាជន់លៀង ណែដល់អត់មកគេទេអាមត្រីមកអត់ជន់លៀងទូរស័ព្ទ
Chun Liang
ពីអរិញណា
Chun Liang made called me from Singapore, telling me that you should not go.
ចូលក្របភូមិហើយឆ្កែក៏វាខំបានដែរ
So if the tiger walk into the village, the dog will bite. So I don't want you to go. He was telling me like that.
ធ្វើម៉េច
I told him back if I didn't go then, if I didn't go there,
មែនមេ4គ្រាប់
I was there and then
វាសំណាងរស់ដល់
yeah I was shot for sure for real. They shoot like 4 or 5 times, but there's only I got shot for 1 bullet only. So this is the history.
ហើយដល់ពេលនោះបង្កើតក្រសួងហើយ
Back then I already create the ministries. So which place that I use. So we choose the random place for that. So I would like to raise as well. Ân Huot
បោះឆ្នោតហើយធ្វើនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីទី1
was voted for the first prime minister
ដូចជាខែ8ឬខែ9
back in August or September. So after the election, and then we go to the United Nations. But he was not acknowledged because there were 2 prime minister. So we have the first and the second prime minister.
កងអង្គរៈសម្រាប់អរិយការពារនិងរថយន្តក្បួនស្អីៗហ្នឹងគឺគេ
So
ឲ្យនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីទី2
so the security and the escort team was protecting the second prime minister.
ប៉ុន្តែហឹងហួតទេ
But Ân Huot
ទៅរៀបចំអាគេហៅអីរេស៊ីដង់និវេសនដ្ឋានចឹង
prepare a resident.
ខ្ញុំជឿឲ្យឆ្ងល់ថា
I was wondering
ធ្វើការដូចជាត្រឹមតែប្រមាណធ្វើនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីទៅតែប្រហែលខែទេមិនក៏ហម
so he was in the position for for a few months only, but why did he make like he builds like the residence?
ក្រោយមកទៅជាក្រសួងដែនដីយើងហ្នឹង
And back then
3អាហ្នឹងទៅស្ថានទូតណា
it became the Ministry of Land Management.
ពុករីយ៉ាងដែរដូចជាស្ថានទូតទៅ
And I think he was building the embassy, Hungarian embassy. I don't really remember. It was closed and then they transferred it back to us. I didn't. I've been the prime minister for a long time. I don't have any residence or anything like that.
ហើយដល់ពេលគួរទៅអស់ផ្ទះប្រមាណ
For his Excellency Ân Huot, he built like a few residence.
ចូលមកដំបូងចឹងបើខ្ញុំឈឺចាប់អាហ្នឹង
It was very painful for me.
ឈឺចាប់ចូលមកវឹបដំបូងផ្ទះអ្នក
So
ភ្នំពេញអត់តែមានផ្ទះនៅផងយើងចេះតែបកគោលផ្ទះ
So the people
ផ្ទះគេដល់ទៅពេលខុសសាបោះឆ្នោត
people has back then when not many people has the proper shelter. So but he instead like give the building to these and those people, and then I was making the announcement back then. Those who who owns the house can come back and possess their property.
យ៉ាងណា
So when I was traveling, it's a proud. I feel very proud.
ក៏លោក
We used to see that the condition of the road was very bad. There's like a rice field. Now it becomes the residential area with a lot of house and building. So
រដ្ឋរបស់ខ្ញុំ
let me take charge.
តាំងពីទីក្រុងភ្នំពេញជាង300គីឡូម៉ែត្រការ៉េ
So I developed Phnom Penh from 300 square kilometer, and now it's spanned to around 700 square meters.
ពីណាមួយហិកតាមានដីមានសំណង់ត្រឹមតែ
So back then, in a hectare of land, there's around like 5,000 square meter of construction. Now it's increased to 500,000 square meter per hectares.
ហើយខ្ញុំស្អប់បំផុតស្អប់អា
So what I don't like
ខ្លួនបរំបរោ
is the flooding. So they always insult and criticize because I refill the land to the lake. It's about flooding.
ស្គាល់ទេពាក្យចំនួន
It's the flooding.
ទៅដល់ហើយចំនួន
So do you know the flooding?
ក្បាលចេញនិងក្បាលចូលវាមិនស្របគ្នាហើយគឺវាចំនួនហើយវាមិនមែនត្រឹមតែ
It's not.
មកហើយណា
It's not only flooding in the Pregnant area. The Lake Mekong
យើងមុន
during 20s, 2000s, like there was a very big flooding.
ហើយអារឿងបើយោងទៅលើការប្រវត្តិណា
Regarding the timeline,
91ចាំបានទេ
back in 1991, there was flooding.
កិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងទីក្រុងប៉ារីស
There was it was before a Paris Peace Agreement. Before I flew to Pattaya,
តែបងហែមផន
I was a little bit mad.
វាខោអាដេក
He was wearing pajamas.
ជួបជាមួយគាត់ចុះទៅខ្ញុំថាទៅអាចវាយខែទេ វាខោអាដេកណា
The provincial governor was wearing the pajamas and met with me, and I didn't say anything.
មកឡើងខ្ញុំកំពុងអង្គុយដកថ្មី
I was
ចូលទៅក្នុងផ្ទះចេញមកបងហែមខនហែមកតាបាទ
I was
ខោអាដេក
I was brushing the teeth. He was brushing the teeth and wearing the pajamas.
ទឹកវាមកប៉ុន្តែមានប្រវត្តិមួយក្នុង
So there was no anything. We didn't do anything back then, but there was a natural flooding.
48គេថាពីកំពង់ស្ពឺដល់ភ្នំពេញគេអុកពូ
Back then, in 1948 or 49, there was a big flooding from Kampong Speu to like you need from Kampong Speu to Phnom Penh. You need to ride the boat. There was a very big flooding.
មិនមែនតែស្រុកខ្មែរណា
It's not only happened in Cambodia. There's also flooding in France, in Italy,
មួយចំនួនក៏
and other countries as well.
មកពីអីវាមកពីអាពីលើនោះវាខ្លាំងអាក្រោមដោះវាមនុស្ស
So it's more of the raining. So it causes flooding. So every time there's flooding, people always insult and criticize the city governor.
ក្រុងភ្នំពេញថ្ងៃនេះវាគាត់ដែរខ្ញុំធ្លាប់នៅទីក្រុងភ្នំពេញ
So
ពីចំនួនផ្លូវកម្ពុជាក្រោម
so it's now in a better condition. I used to be here like since the Cambodia Crown Boulevard. We have the only boulevard. We didn't have any sewage system. There was flooding. So now it's been changing and it's been developing. It's better. It's a lot better compared to the past.
200មីលីម៉ែត្ររឿងអីក៏ក្រោម
So when there's more raining, so the sewage system cannot handle that.
កុំតែវាឡើងដោយសារអីវាឡើង
So
ទឹកភ្លៀងវាមក
so the flooding, the level of water, the water level rise in the Lake Mekong because of the rain. If it is more rain, so it will cause a higher water level.
តែភ្នំសិតតែបឹងតា
So there was a lot of lake and ponds back in Phnom Penh back then.
ឥឡូវយើងមានរឿងអី
Now we are not worried about
ជាសំណួរមួយឲ្យ
uh,
ដើម្បីឆ្លើយ
regarding the Kop Sreu Dam. We have no worry about a landslide or anything.
ថារឿងបាក់សំណួរកប់ហើយមូលហេតុដែលខ្លាចដែល
So the reason
ដោយសារតែអាទឹកវាមកបុកដល់
the reason that we concern
ដីឯងប្រហែល100ម៉ែត្រទៅមុខក៏
is that there's too much of water, so it can damage that area. So we try to fill more land to that area.
ភាពចំណែន
So I know that this is about the jealousy about
នៅការអភិវឌ្ឍ
about the jealousy on the development.
តាបឹងមួយ
Even though a pond, a lake
ក្នុងអាដៃណែនេះអា Grand ភ្នំពេញ
at Grand Phnom Penh,
ថាតាពាំងមួយហើយដែលអ្នកណាទៅរករឿងអាដៃលឿងខុន
someone was
ថាតាពាំងហ្នឹង
they complaining to Lincoln
ជាខ្ញុំ
for that lake.
ជាម្ចាស់ការដ្ឋានណា
If I were the owner
សូ
of,
មលុបវាចោលតាប្រយុទ្ធ
I would refill the land long ago. So I always smell. There's a bad smell from that every time I go for golfing.
ឡូអាដៃណែទី11ទី11ទី12ទី13មើលអាខ្លីឡូទី11អើបាទ55សិន55ហើយបានទៅអាឡូ
So
11អានោះបានចាប់ប្រាំវាយ
so it's
វាយអាខ្លី
sort of the golfing games. So
តទៅមានផា3មួយតឡើង
so we have
ផា3ហ្នឹងបានផុតឈប់ទៅ
so we have to they are stage. So when I play golf, I always smell something. So at some area.
សិតតែការហូរចូលនៃអាដៃគេហៅថាគ្រឿងកក្រិចចូលទៅក្រោម
So there's like people dispose like water and waste to that. So it causes smell. It's very bad smell.
ចោតជាសំណួរមើលនៅភ្នំពេញមានបឹងអីខ្លះ
So how many lakes are there in Phnom Penh? We have Bang Reng, Bang Palat,
បឹងកៃកោ
Bang Keng Kong,
ហើយបឹងដៃជោ
Bang Dai Cho.
មួយគឺឈ្មោះបឹងដៃជោ
We have one of the lake named Bang Dai Cho. We have Orusay Market.
តែគេបង្កើតទៅជាផ្សារមិនក៏គេបានវិញហើយដល់សម័យហ៊ុនសែនមិនក៏
So now
ខ្វល់ដែរ
Orusay used to be like a lake, and then like we create a market. And now I want to develop the city too. So I think there's nothing related to the Praitanaut flooding
អាប្រៃថ្នោតទៅបើទោះបីអត់ធ្វើអីក៏គង់តែវាធ្លាប់ពីមុនមក
because it's been flooding since before. So do you still remember when we create the government on the 2nd of December 1998? So after the creation, we have the first meeting. So I launched, I introduced the
ខ្ញុំទៅចែកជំនួយនៅកណ្ដាល
triangle strategy. I was in Kandastang.
នួនព្រៃថ្នោត
In December, there was a breakthrough of flooding. So what happened?
បានទេ
What happened back then? Can you try to explain on that?
មុខទឹកចរន្តទឹកនោះទេ
So I don't encourage to block the current of the water, the flow,
បឹងស្អីឡើងលុប
but there's always criticism about refilling the land, the land on the lake.
នោះវាតាក់ទងនឹង
There is no related to that at all.
តាមទៅជាមួយ
So and then there are more and more people criticize about that.
កុំឲ្យប្រកែកនិយាយឲ្យលុបនេះលុបនោះបុកនេះបុកនោះអើយខិត
So
ទៅខិតខំធ្វើទៅ
So just try to develop. It's better than we just sit and criticize people and without doing anything.
ព្រោះអាហ្នឹងគឺចាក់តាក់តងរឿងដែនដីដែរ
This is related to land management,
អានេះ
urban planning as well.
ចាក់ដីប៉ុន្មានម៉ែត្រ
So how much land did we refill for this?
4 ម៉ែត្រ
We refill 4 meter of land.
ដីបាន4ម៉ែត្រទុកឲ្យយកតែក្រាញ់ចាប់តែក្រាញ់អាហ្នឹងវាអត់មានសំឡងហ្នឹងទេ
So if we don't refill the land, there would not be this current building.
ឯងនោះចាប់តែក្រាញ់
So
តែដែង
so we can go fishing. Do you want to keep it for fishing, or you want to see this achievement?
ព្រោះតែកាប់អស់ឈើ
So they also criticize about deforestation.
ឥឡូវដើម្បីប្រមូលឈើមកវិញវាយកំទេចផ្ទះចោលទាំងអស់
So to collect back all the wood and the tree, we should take it out from the house. We should destroy all the house and get the wood back. So all the houses that are built after 1995.
លោកឯងចេះតែលើកទឹកចិត្តទៅទិញឈើយកមកតែឈើវាមកគឺវាមិនរើកាប់ហើយ
So because we use the wood to build the house too, that's why people chop down the tree for selling for trade.
ម្នាក់គឺថានាំគ្នាជេរទៅហ៊ុនសែន
You keep insulting Hun Sen.
គឺកាប់ឈើ
Uh,
តែណាបដ ாய் ទេប៉ុន្តែវាឈើទៅគឺត្រូវកាប់
so
មកធ្វើណា
so
តិចទៅអានោះកាប់
some people chop down the tree for different reason, like for house construction,
វាមិនស្រួល
for making fire, for making charcoal.
និយាយពីទស្សនៈអំពីការរវាងអភិរក្សជាមួយនឹងការអភិវឌ្ឍ
So between conservation and development,
នៅលើពិភពលោកវាតែងតែមានគេធ្វើអញ្ចឹង
that's what we normally do, what people normally do for other nations. So other people can do that, and I see no issue why we can do that too.
ខ្លះអ្នកប្រឆាំង
Some people are opposition. They also buy some land around this area.
ដើម្បីកុំឲ្យវាវត្តដីមានដកកម្មសិទ្ធិវាដកកម្មសិទ្ធិឯង
So
តិចទៀតអាចដកកម្មសិទ្ធិឲ្យគាត់ចោល
so
យកដីឯងមក
if you keep criticizing,
ថាឯងទៅដល់ដីវា
maybe I should withdraw the ownership of your land from this area. But if I try to withdraw the ownership, they will criticize again that I am the one who take away their land.
ប្រវត្តិស្រុកខ្មែរ
So let's take a look at our history.
ដីឡើងថ្លៃដំណាក់កាលមានពីរដំណាក់
So there were two stage of land price.
មានមួយដំណាក់កាល
So there's only one stage, one point that affect the price of the land. Let's say there are two as well.
ដីឡើងថ្លៃ
So the price of the land increase.
មួយដំណាក់កាលទី1
So the first step is
ដំណាក់កាលសម័យសង្គមរាស្ត្រនិយម
during Sangkom Rianayum,
ការអភិវឌ្ឍ
there was a development.
បើអញ្ចឹងណាអ្នកតាមដងទន្លេអ្នកមន្ត្រីរាជការ
So those who living along riverside and those who are official living in the city,
ក្រសួងធម្មការក៏ដែរក្រសួងធម្មការគឺចាប់តែមានឃ្លាំងមួយដាក់សិតតែលោកនេះសុំប៉ុណ្ណេះដីប៉ុណ្ណេះ
So
ប៉ុណ្ណេះសិតតែអ្នកតំណាងរាស្ត្រសិតតែស្អីស្អី
so there was
តាមខូចជាងគេនិយាយពិត
So there was a lot of requests from many officials requesting for the land.
កាលពីចរន្ត
And Tam is the one that is very is the one.
ហេងនេះក៏ខូចដែរ
Cheng Heng is also a bit tricky.
នៅខាងកំពង់ចាមខាងតវ៉ែចកាហកៅស៊ូអិនតាម
Uh,
សរិមតៈក៏ខូចដែរ
Sarimata
កៅស៊ូសរិមតៈ
also a bit tricky.
កិនតាមទៅធ្វើចង្វាយខេត្តបាត់ដំបង
And Tam was the governor of Bat Nambong province.
កូនណា
It caused an issue for former king.
ជួននេះទៅប្រគល់ឲ្យពួកបន្ត្រីបង្កើតរឿង
So
បាំងរាំងជួល បានយកកម្លាំងគាត់ទៅ
there was road construction to some load, but did not hand it to the people, but to other people.
ទៅយក
I knew a story from one of my family member because they married to one of the Onta
និយាយថា
people. So I was told that
ចង្វាយខេត្តបាត់ដំបងមានដីស្រែជាង400ហិកតា
they told me that they have 400 hectare of land back then.
មានដីទៅដល់ចឹងអារឿងបញ្ហាដីធ្លីនេះវាមិនមែន
So regarding land land issue, it's not the new issue. It's not the new problem. There's always conflict. There's always conflicts since the beginning. Why we rename province province? Because there's a long forest over there. But now because of the development,
សង្គ្រាមកើតឡើង
so there are less of forest. So the land value drop. It loses the value when there's a war.
បែក B52 ណា
Because we just ran away, ran for life. When there's like a lot of booming, a lot of fighting, shooting, so the land will lose its value. So during the Pol Pot regime, the land has no any value.
បាត់បង់តម្លៃ
And after the Pol Pot regime, it's remain
ទៅធ្វើដីមួយហិកតា
not very valuable.
ជួលគាត់ទៅធ្វើឲ្យលុយទៅគាត់ទៅធ្វើទៀត
So we hire people to work on the like agricultural land. Like for example, we pay them like some amount of money to work on 1 hectare of land.
យើងសិតទៅផ្ដល់លុយឲ្យ
So we provide them money to work on agricultural land
គាត់ទៅហែកដីថ្មី
so that they will prepare new land.
ដីវាឡើងថ្លៃ
Nowadays, the land is more getting more expensive.
979
So everyone is competing against the land.
ថ្លៃវាយគ្រឿងសត
So some people make defend that they've been living like since 1979, but it was still during the civil war.
1989
1989.
ពេលកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីបរាជ័យគេហៅថា
So the meeting of a peace Paris agreement was failed.
ធ្វើទៅណាជាមួយទាបាញ់
I traveled with Tia Banh.
ប៉ោយប៉ែត
I crossed
តែភ្លើង
I crossed the bridge. I crossed the bridge to Poi Pet and I stay at Patemian Chey.
រួចដូចបញ្ចូលមកខាងគឺខ្មែរក្រហមនៅមេឡៃមកខាងគឺ
So so there was a troop force of Khmer Rouge and also Phun Sampech.
ព្រៃត្រែង
And there was it was very
ហើយមក
there was a forest around there, and they mentioned that they've been controlling the land since 1979.
ម៉ោងជាប់ម៉ោង3កន្លះល្ងាចហើយប្រសិទ្ធក៏ទៅដែរកាលនោះប្រសិទ្ធយើងឡើងទៅធ្វើការសមាធិ
So
ឡើងទៅដីខាត់ពីរដ្ឋាភិបាលចាក់ពីអរិយប្រទេស
so
បាងកដើម្បីជួបឆាត់ឆៃជួនណាវ៉ាន់ចៅវលិត
we went there to meet with a Thai authority back then.
ទៅវៀតណាម
So before Vietnamese troop withdrawal, like 3 days before.
យើងត្រូវរកការសោកស្រួលជាមួយនឹង
So we need to find peace to negotiate with our neighbors.
កិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងទីក្រុងប៉ារីសមិនទៅធ្វើមិនទៅមិន
So the Paris Peace Agreement is not. I was just not there for signatures. So it's a long process. So I have talked a lot about that as well. So
ចំពេលដែលខ្ញុំនៅហ្សឺណែវ
so this will be the 27
តែ
anniversary of peace agreement. So I can share the story. I have shared like around 60%, but there's still like 40% left that I haven't, that I cannot
កោមតុបលើតុប
release yet. There's like a on table and under table discussion.
80 ម៉ោងរួចហើយ
So I have already talked in my
កលិចកលះឲ្យបង
80 hours video. So
ចឹងណាដែលចង់ទៅសាររើកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីសណែឯងចង់ហៅបរទេសឲ្យមកត្រួតណា
so those who want to talk to use
ច្បាស់កថាខាត់
who comments about Paris Peace Agreement, you want other countries to control our nation or what?
ការសហជីវជាតិប្រទេសនេះមិនទៅដាក់ឲ្យនៅក្រោមអាណានិគម
So this country cannot be put under the
អស់ហើយឯងចង់ហៅមកទៀត
control of any countries. So they all left our countries, and why you want to invite them back and take control of a country? I don't just don't be rude. Don't try to explain anything, comment anything that affect the constitution or the government. So it's not stop commenting, stop criticizing that 2/3 majority is not constitutional, or 50+1 is not constitutional.
មិនជាការកម្រិតតែគឺជាការ
This is not the threat, but this is the law enforcement.
គេហៅថាអាក្មេងទំនើបឬក៏អាដែលអាលវងទូអាលវងទូបញ្ជាក់គ្នាឲ្យច្បាស់អារឿង
This is the law enforcement for wrongdoer or for stupid people. So tomorrow will be our Independent Day. So the former king, the king, will lit the honorable candle, and day after His Majesty will depart to France to start to preside over the meeting.
ព្រោះនោះជាភារកិច្ចចាំបាច់
So this is the obligation.
ពីកប្រលកិត្តិយស
So UNESCO provide honors to our His Majesty King.
ឯងទៅរត់ទៅជើងដល់ខាងឯងបាទយើងទៅលេតរត់ហោះ
So tomorrow we will
អញ្ចឹងបើយើង
join with the His Majesty King to
កិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីស
we will send our Majesty King at the airport to that will be departing to the France.
មើលយើងកាសជូនសារឲ្យខ្លាំងបន្តិចមើល
So I would like to send a message
បានចេះនិយាយ
to those people who criticize. Do not make comment that affect the national entities, and do not think that I don't dare to take any action. I would not allow you to do anything as you wish to.
យើងទទួលស្គាល់ថាសម្រេចបានឬមិនបាន
We acknowledge
ព្រៀងប៉ារីសចប់បាន តែអ៊ុនតាក់មិនអាចសម្រេចបាន
so we know what the Paris Agreement, peace agreement wants, and what UNTAC wants,
ទុកឲ្យកម្ពុជា
but UNTAC cannot do that. So UNTAC left the countries. Back then we have two government. There was civil war, so we have to use the win-win policy
ដើម្បីរវត្តភ្លើងសង្គ្រាមនេះ
to end this war.
អ៊ុនតាក់មិនអាចធ្វើបាននៅការដកអាវុធ
UNTAC cannot
ឈប់បាញ់ នៅនឹងកន្លែងការប្រមូលផ្ដុំ
cannot bring about a ceasefire.
70% អ៊ុនតាក់មិនអាចសម្រេចបានទេ
UNTAC cannot bring about ceasefire or ending of civil war. And UNTAC also failed in bringing the Khmer Rouge party to join the election. Do we need to wait Khmer Rouge, or we need to prepare the national election that is joined by other parties?
អញ្ចឹង អ្នកដែលថាខុសហ្នឹងវាខុសតាណាដូច
So those who said that it's wrong. So which point?
លើអន្តរតា
It's about UNTA. It was the
ច្បាប់បោះឆ្នោត
it was the powers of the UNTA because back then
ណែឯងចង់ឲ្យខ្ញុំនិយាយ
they didn't even tell anything to SNC because UNTA was the supreme power back then.
ច្បាប់បោះឆ្នោតត្រូវបានសម្រេចរវាងអន្តរនិង ANC នៅឯសៀមរាប
So
ប៉ុន្តែ
national election law was
ធ្វើវិសោធនកម្ម
was created by UNTA and SNC. And when UNTA amended the law, UNTA didn't even inform the SNC at all.
តើធ្វើវិសោធនកម្មនៅកន្លែងណាគឺនៅចំអាកន្លែងសំខាន់
So amendment was done at the very important point regarding the political parties has
ចំអាកន្លែងពិសេសនៅ
has the right to
អន្តរបង្កើតដោយ
stamp
នៅបន្ទាយសុវត្ថិភាពសម្រាប់ដាក់ហឹបឆ្នោត
and also UNTA has the right to create the safe zone for keeping
ក៏ប៉ុន្តែទីចុងគាត់
the election, the vote.
ថាយើងបោះឆ្នោតនៅកន្លែងហ្នឹងរាប់នៅកន្លែងហ្នឹងចោទថាឯងបន្លំទៅទៀត
And when
ដឹកតាមកបាល់អស់ដឹកតាមស្អីហើយយើង
so
ម៉ូតូពីក្រោម
and then it's delivered through like a helicopter and airplane. They collect the votes and then they put in the one safe place. And for us now, we count at the venue, and they still criticize that we are not transparent.
ទទួលទៅ
So we've been
ប៉ុន្តែមិននឹកស្មានថាមកដល់ម៉ោងនេះ
enduring this situation. I don't. I never thought that there are still some people that are still stupid and they want other countries to take control of the countries of our countries.
អំណាច
So
បរទេស
the power in the other people's hands.
តែកោះ
So if we want to implement or enforce the Paris Peace Agreement, we might need to create 4 different parties again.
ហើយអ្នកចុះហត្ថលេខានោះទៅអស់ភាគីកម្ពុជាបកគោណាបីដាសម្ដេចទៅ
So those who are the signatories, we have former King Sun Sen, Sơn San,
សិនសេនសុនសេននៅកក្រុងនៅរស់គឺមានតែខ្ញុំ
so
ជាបាញ់
so we have
បងហោនហង
me, Tia Bang,
បងពុកចិនលឹម
Ham
លេខខៃ
Hong, and a few more. So these are the
ទៅធ្វើកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីស
signatories of a Paris Peace Agreement. So we didn't say anything about this, but I have seen a lot of criticism and comment from some stupid people.
ឥឡូវណាចង់ខ្ញុំមិនច្បាស់ហើយឬក៏ថាគេចង់យកអានេះកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីសហ្នឹងយកទៅ support ដាក់នៅអីស្រុក
I heard that they want to use a Paris Peace Agreement to
ម៉ៃយ៉ាម៉ានោះតែម៉ៃយ៉ាម៉ារឿងម៉ៃយ៉ាម៉ាផ្សេង
use in Myanmar.
កម្ពុជាយើងសង្គ្រាមប្រទេសកម្ពុជាយើងឆ្លងកាត់
So Cambodia has been through
ព្រៀង3ហើយ
3 agreements so far.
ពីរកម្ពុជាចូលរួម
So there were 2 joined by Cambodia, and another agreement was not
មួយគឺកិច្ចព្រម
joined by Cambodia.
ណែ1954
We have a 1954 Geneva Agreement.
កម្ពុជា
It was very fortunate because Cambodia was not
ណាមនឹងឡា សាបកូណា
discriminate like Vietnam and Laos because our former king
ជានៅឯករាជ្យតាំងពីឆ្នាំ
because our former king demands
នឹងហើយ
the independence back in 1953.
យើងតែងតែ
So that's the point that we always grateful
ប្របីដាជាតិ
for our former king.
បើកុំមានព្រះអង្គ
So without our former king,
ទូបាយ័ន BTV គេអាសាចាស់ព្រះរាជពោចនកិច្ចរបស់ព្រះអង្គ
so especially BTV often broadcast about the journey to gain the independence.
សម្រាប់កម្ពុជាវៀតណាមត្រូវពុះជាពីរវៀតណាមខាងជើង
So Vietnam has to be divided into north and south,
គេហៅថាពុះប្រទេសឡាវទៅ
and Lao,
ឡាវនោះ
same as Lao as well.
ទីចុងផុតបន្តសង្គ្រាម
Finally, there's still war happening.
ឈានទៅរកការបោះឆ្នោតឆ្នាំ1955
Cambodia was heading
អង្គការមានគណៈកម្ម
was heading to the 1955 election. There was the international control committee. There was like Canada, Poland, and Australia. There's an agreement, and another agreement is Paris Agreement, 1973.
ចុះហត្ថលេខារវាងវៀតណាមជាមួយនឹង
It's
អាមេរិក
the signatories between Vietnam and the U.S. And for the
ខាងអាមេរិកគឺ Kissinger
when we have the two parties over there,
ពាក់ព័ន្ធជាមួយសង្គ្រាមវៀតណាមក៏ប៉ុន្តែ
it was related to Vietnamese war, but it expanded to Cambodia. If the U.S. agreed to withdraw the troops
ការវាយតាមកងជើងអាកាស
and to stop fighting the air fight, 1973,
ចេញពីវៀតណាមទៅ
Vietnam will withdraw from South Vietnam. That was the agreement. Cambodia was not a part of it.
ទួលផលប្រយោជន៍ពីកិច្ច
Cambodia also benefit from this agreement as well through the stop of air fight from U.S.
ព្រមព្រៀង
And the third agreement is a Paris Peace Agreement,
1991
1991.
ដើមដំណើរការដំបូងពីហ្វែលដល់រកពីធ្នូ1987និង1988 ANC ជាចំណែកដែលកម្ពុជាបង្កើតដោយខ្លួនឯងហើយទៅជាសមាជិកភាពដ៏សំខាន់នៅក្នុងកិច្ចប្រឹងប្រែងទីក្រុងប៉ារីសសូមកុំផុតច្រឡំមានរឿងរ៉ាវច្រើនណាស់នៅកន្លែងនេះប៉ុន្តែអត់នឹកស្មានថាគេថាស្អីក៏ខុសកិច្ចប្រឹងប្រែងទាំងអស់ឥឡូវបន្តិចទៀតវាយអាផ្ទះវានឹងវាធ្វើខុសកិច្ចប្រឹងប្រែងប៉ារីសដែរផ្ទះវានៅបន្តិចទៀតខុសកិច្ចប្រឹងប្រែងប៉ារីសព្រោះកិច្ចប្រឹងប្រែងប៉ារីសមិនបានឲ្យឯងធ្វើផ្ទះនោះទៅពិតហើយគេមានការធានាដែលមកដល់ពេលនេះវានៅមានសុពលភាពរបស់វាគឺនៅត្រង់ថាការធានាទៅលើបញ្ហាឯករាជ្យអធិបតេយ្យភាពរបស់កម្ពុជាពាក់ព័ន្ធជាមួយនឹងប្រទេសណាក៏ដោយកម្ពុជាត្រូវមានឯករាជ្យនឹងការកសាងប្រទេសឡើងវិញគេក៏បានជួយមកកសាងប្រទេសប៉ុន្តែគេមិនបានឲ្យយើងយកអាកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីសធ្វើជាស្នូលនៃការអនុវត្តអាកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីសប៉ាឡេតខេសប្រមាណបន្ទាត់ហ្នឹងឯងធ្វើច្បាប់ឧទាហរណ៍ច្បាប់ភូមិបាលដែលយើងកំពុងធ្វើកំពុងក្រសួងដែនដីកំពុងអនុវត្តនេះតើធ្វើចេញអញ្ចឹងកថាខណ្ឌយោងនៃច្បាប់ឬបរិយាក្រមប្រកាសឲ្យប្រើផ្អែកលើកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីសណាអញ្ចឹង ឥឡូវសូមចោទជាសំណួរថាតើត្រូវបរិយាកម្មរបស់ព្រះមហាក្សត្រដែលផ្អែកជាបង្អែកសម្រាប់ព្រះអង្គឡាយបរិលេខាផ្អែកលើអីតើផ្អែកលើកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីសឬផ្អែកលើរដ្ឋធម្មនុញ្ញនៃព្រះរាជាណាចក្រកម្ពុជាហើយក៏វាល្ងងហួសជាការប្រមាថអានេះមិនល្ងងអានេះជាការប្រមាថសូមជូនសារទៅថ្ងៃនេះហើយសូមណែឯងកុំតាំងខ្លួនជាក្តារអុកជាត្រីបកលើក្តារអុករបស់អាស៊ានមានអ្នកដែលកំពុងដាក់ចេញនៅយុទ្ធសាស្ត្រត្រីបកលើក្តារអុកអាស៊ានខ្ញុំសូមបញ្ជាក់ទោះបីខ្ញុំចំណាយសេះមួយនិងទូកមួយក៏ខ្ញុំស៊ីអាត្រីបកអង្គវត្តចោលហើយសាកមើលបើមិនទៅពាំងខ្លងកំពុងតែប្រជុំអាស៊ានក៏ដោយព្រោះអត់មានតាក់ទងអីគ្នាទេកិច្ចការរបស់កម្ពុជាគឺកម្ពុជាធ្វើអត់មានអាស៊ានមកលូកលាន់រឿងកិច្ចការកម្ពុជាទេហើយនិយាយគ្នាច្បាស់ហើយគោរពកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីសប្រមាណចំណុចអញ្ចឹងត្រូវបោះត្រឡប់ទៅដកអាវុធបង្កើតខ្មែរក្រហមឡើងវិញអញ្ចឹងទៅដោះលែងខៀវសុផាន់នៅសល់តែម្នាក់នឹងទៀតដោះលែងខៀវសុផាន់ហើយអ្នកនៅក្រៅប្រទេសសហប្រធានកិច្ចព្រមព្រៀងប៉ារីស
So those who are in other countries, so Suharto Ali Alatas is already passed away. Regarding France, the president also passed away. So regarding Soviet Union, he became the former president of countries, and for China, King Kecheng, he's still alive. Cheng Beter is from the U.S. So I'm talking only about five countries, five big countries. For UK now becoming Secretary of State, talking about the co-leader, co-president, through Paris Peace Agreement, it was signed. We have the General Secretary, Mr. Pere. So back then, Boutros, the General Secretary of the UN, was working to finish the work. So the Kofi Annan was the one to finish the work. Back then there was a special representative of the UN and also the human rights. I told Kofi Annan that among these two you can keep one. So he withdrew the special representative. So at the Human Rights Office, there was. So we still respect to what is stipulated in the Paris Peace Agreement. So if it is necessary, they can assign the special reporter in Cambodia. So don't ever underestimate or insult. This is a very important message on Monday morning.
ប្រមាថស្ថាប័នជាតិមួយ
So this is the insult on the national entity to
351ខុសរដ្ឋ
they said that changing from two-third majority to 50 plus 1 is unconditional. So I want the, uh, the relevant authority to take a look at this matter and review the video
តែ
of.
ប៉ុណ្ណឹងហើយយកទៅដាក់ហើយវត្តជុកដំបូងពី VOD ចេញនៅភ្នំពេញបន្តទៅអានៅ
So first,
ភាសាពេញហ្នឹង
so it's so there will you.
វានិយាយដែរចាត់ទុកថាឲ្យ
So this is from VOD. There will be like analysis on many different platform like VOD and others like international channels.
ចូលរួមធ្វើកិច្ចប្រព្រឹត្ត
So so I'm the one who's the one who take part in Paris peace agreements. I'm still here. So regarding the establishment of the ministries,
ហើយដល់បើជួបដំកាលហ្នឹងនៅជារដ្ឋលេខាធិការមហាផ្ទៃ
back then His Excellency Eng Chenlon is the Secretary of State of Ministry of Interior.
ក្រសួងរៀបចំដែនដីនគររូបនីយកម្ម
And back then he was transferred to Ministry of Land Management Urban Planning, and now it is under control of His Excellency Chirpara. And for you and I has to have only one nationality.
ឆ្នាំ30
So in 20, 30 or 100 years we will have only one nationality.
ទៅមានសេចក្ដីតែមួយចាប់ពីហ្នឹងទៅ
From now on,
ឥឡូវខ្ញុំបានមានសេចក្ដីមួយបាត់ហើយ
I have already
សេចក្ដីខ្យល់
I have already
បានថាតតហ៊ុនសែនមកជើងតតឲ្យ
give up a nationality. It's
បាក់កហ៊ុនសែនបាក់កខ្លួនឯងបាត់
because people want to
ជាឱកាស
attack me,
ទៅ
but they cannot manage to do it.
ដោយសារតែវាចេញហើយទៅបាននិយាយតំបៅមិនឈឺណាយកឈឺ
So you are trying to make the wound worse.
ធ្វើដូចជា
It's not I do it out of nowhere. It's like I
ឯងចោតហ៊ុនសែន
it's not that I do it out of nowhere, but it's because of you trying to poke it, to provoke it.
ត្រូវតែលេងគ្នាជំរាំជីក្នុងពេលហ្នឹង
So if for me, if I have two nationalities, so I will have to give up one. So we to get this
មិនឡាយបោះលេខាទេ
to get this done, we spent like around 1 month. Our king already ratifies this amended law.
ចេះរៀបចំឃើញខ្លាចមួយវាជាផតនាខគុណដែរអាកសែតហ្នឹង
So it's
អាកសែត
it's quite
ផ្ទះដល់ទៅមិនដាក់ផ្ទះហ៊ុនសែន
fortunate that quite thankful to one of the newspaper, and then they accuse that the newspaper that they get some benefit from me.
ខ្ញុំទាំងអស់លោកខ្វល់ខ្ញុំទាំងអស់ចុះ4កន្លះហើយបកក
So it's 9:30 now. So we have to go to Council Minister after this.
ឥឡូវជាតិមួយវាចេញមកចឹង
So now we have law on one nationality.
សែនកំពុងឈរនៅ
So Hun Sen is standing right here
មានសញ្ជាតិតែមួយគត់
with one nationality from the birth,
ប៉ុនប៉ងសូម
and I have never intend and I have never thought of even I never dream of
ឲ្យបានសញ្ជាតិនេះ
getting other nationalities at all.
រឿងណានាផ្សេងថានៅរឿងរបស់គេទេប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំមិនបានបិទផ្លូវ
I don't
សម្រាប់អ្នកដទៃទៀត
I don't
បញ្ចេញយកចំណែកមួយ
stop others people who are competing for the fourth position, like the head of a constitutional council, head of parliament, and senate, and also the prime minister. You cannot have more than one nationality, but the rest you can feel free to have any nationality. So the vice president of senate or parliament can also have other nationalities.
នៅកាត់តំណែងសំខាន់
So those people in the very important position
នៅសល់សញ្ជាតិតែមួយក៏ដោយ
cannot.
ត្រឡប់ទៅសញ្ជាតិដើមក៏ដែរក្នុងពេលនេះក៏ដែរ
So we have to stick.
ដៃរបស់ខ្ញុំនៅប្រទេសនោះ
We have to stick to only one, the rule of the countries.
ผมលេងឲ្យសោះអត់នេះជាការបញ្ជាការជជែក
So this is
សិង្ហបុរីបានធ្វើហើយ
Singapore has already done this
ឆាំការជជែក
law against laws on the intervention.
អូស្ត្រាលីក៏មានផ្នែកមួយនៃការប្រឆាំងការជជែកពីបរទេស
So Australian government also have that. So there's no way that Cambodian can do that because of this intervention. Because of, that's why we suffer a lot.
វាចាក់ឥឡូវចេះខ្ញុំសូមផ្ដាំការងារពីរ
So I would like to
ទី1បន្ត
talk about 3 points. Appeal on 3 points. So one, to continue
កម្មសិទ្ធិឲ្យជាបរិបទ
to continue releasing the ownership certificate to the people.
បន្តទៅទៀតទី2
The second point,
ដោះស្រាយចំនួនដីធ្លី
try to solve the remaining land dispute
ដោយធ្វើការខិតខំសម្របសម្រួលក្រៅប្រព័ន្ធ
using the non-judicial means.
អ្នកមានចាញ់
So if you choose to go to the court, there will be a winner and loser. So if if you are just out of court solution, there's always a negotiation, and both can win.
អាមេរិកជួបរបស់ខ្ញុំមានរឿងពីរ
So
ដល់គាត់ធ្វើគាត់ដែរដល់ខ្ញុំនិយាយទៅលោកចត្រាវឲ្យសម្លេងទៅថា
so
វាទៅគ្នា
there was a
វាសងំ
I sent a voice
ក្នុងបន្ទប់គាត់ឲ្យអាណាលឺ
message.
ទៅវាតោះគ្នាផ្អើលមកប្រទេសហើយផ្អើល
So
ជាតិអង់គ្លេសជាមួយនឹងខ្មែរយើងស្រីខ្មែរនោះ
so there's a problem between Khmer lady and a UK, English man. There's like a family like violence.
ខំដោះស្រាយ
So try to solve the conflict, the land conflict, using non-judicial means
ទៅលើការដោះស្រាយ
and
សិនជាមានសេរី
with the accuracy and transparency as well.
ដោះស្រាយបានបញ្ហាខ្ញុំគិតថារដ្ឋមន្ត្រីការបរទេសអូស្ត្រាលីប្រហែលជាមើលខ្ញុំវងថ្លៃការដែរ
I think that the foreign minister of Australia might be watching my live show as well.
ទៅមានសន្តិភាព
He is now preparing to go to
រៀនតិចឲ្យខ្ញុំទៅដល់ហើយចាំគាត់ចេញ
to Peace Palace as well. I think he's now
រៀននោះដែរទេ
he's now waiting to head to the Peace Palace too.
ទី
So the third task,
3ខិតមកកិច្ចការដោះស្រាយដីសម្បត្តិសង្គមមកកិច្ច
so the solving this social land concession is one of the priority amongst other tasks that we need to cover. We have built the house So our social land concession has to be prepared and for those who has no access to land.
ស្រ័យចង់ស្រោចទឹកគេស្រោចទឹកខ្លាំងមើលស្រោចទឹកនេះណាទៅស្រោចទឹកអាអ្នកកិច្ចការពេលប៉ារីនៅទៅវិញព្រោះបើមិននិយាយរឿងបាន
So I made a lot of
មនុស្សមួយចំនួនកុំតាំងខ្លួនជាក្តារជាត្រីបោះលើក្តារអុករបស់អាស៊ាន5ផ្ញើទុកឲ្យហើយព្រោះការ
So,
សាសនេះ
So this, so some people are using this strategy. This is not different from 2002. It was during the ASEAN meeting. There was the protest. So they were interviewed by the journalists. They said that there was a protest. They didn't eat anything, but they didn't eat rice, but they eat cake and they eat noodle soup. They don't starve themselves. So for ASEAN matter is a different story, and Cambodia is a different story. We cannot put it together.
ដោយសារតែអស់ម៉ោងសំទុះ
It's like we are running out of time.
អស់ម៉ោងទៅហើយអរគុណសម្រាប់ការចូលរួម
Thank you for joining today, and I would like
ភាពណាស់
to concrete. And I'm very pleased and I'm very proud on this achievement. And I noticed that there are only 3 people who didn't wear mask. One at the Kwar Canal area around Russian hospital.
មួយទៀតជិតមកដល់គណៈរដ្ឋមន្ត្រី
Another one around council or minister is the motorbike rider, and another one person standing wearing the yellow
មានម៉ាស់
shirt. He looked like a security person.
ប៉ុន្តែពីរនាក់អត់មានម៉ាស់
He has mask, but he hang it below his mouth,
ប៉ុន្តែអត់ទេ
and
គឺអត់ត្រូវការ
and the other
សុខភាពម្ល៉េះ
the other 2 was the motorbike rider, and they wear helmet and they
ការ៉ាអូខេ KTV
KTV nightclub
ហើយមួយទៀតរងកសាល
and
រងចាំ
Big Garden.
ថ្ងៃ30ខែវិច្ឆិកា
Please wait after 30th of November. I have already made the decision
តាមសំណើរបស់ឯកឧត្តមអូនពលនិរដ្ឋ
through the request of His Excellency Onpom Nirot and His Excellency Mom Sok Heng,
បើអានឹងលឿនពេកគឺ
because if we reopen it quickly, it can cause trouble. Now we want to reopen the school and other sector first. The infection rate is decreasing,
ជា3លានអ្នកចូលរៀន
so around 3 million students go back to school, but the newly confirmed case is very low. It's because everyone agreed to get vaccinated. So vaccines save our life.
សិនបងប្អូនមិនទទួលបាន
If you don't get vaccinated,
ច្បាស់ជាបរិបទពេល
I'm sure that we cannot reopen the economy right now. So
បងប្អូនបានទូស្រស់ហើយ
now we are getting better.
ខ្ញុំតាមដានគឺបងប្អូនសប្បាយចិត្ត
So I observe that everyone seems happier when we reopen the countries, reopen the economies. It's like people still adhere to the safety measures by the Ministry of Health and wear masks, and also when you go out to eat.
តែមិនគិតចំពោះអ្នកបម្រើសេវា
So for the
បើមិនចឹងអនុវត្តអត់បានទេសេវាគឺស្អី
so
ភើណា
so the place can welcome the party can host like welcome like 200 guests, but excluding the Swiss people like the chef, the waiter and waitress, the musician. So around 200, 250, 260 people. So for one of the event like a ceremony, wedding party, they should have only like 250, 260 people only. So you can get married later after COVID-19. You can invite friends, relatives, or you can take turn and inviting people. Like for example, their step, you do it step by step, like 200, 200 to 250 at per time. So you do it several times to your wedding reception. So that's all. I'm sure there will be a reaction. I'm sure that there will be a feedback about Paris Peace Agreement. But I would like to give some advice and idea on this. But you make the wrong comment on the constitution. You said that the revising, amending from 2/3 to 50 plus 1 is not constitutional. This is a matter. This is not. You make. This is a wrong comment. So for me, for the school reopening, we should not allow for the kindergarten. We start only from elementary first. So we start from the elementary, secondary, high school, and university, and other training, vocational training. So we are running out of time. I wish some ladies and gentlemen, and I wish all our dear compatriots, and I would like to take this opportunity to announce the official inauguration of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction from now on. And I wish you a great success.
ក្នុងនាមឋានៈដឹកនាំរដ្ឋមន្ត្រីរាជការនៃក្រសួងរៀបចំដែនដីនគររូបនីយកម្មសំណង់ខ្ញុំបាទសូមសម្ដែងនៅការគោរពដឹងគុណដ៏ជ្រាលជ្រៅជាទីបំផុតចំពោះសម្ដេច
special coverage or the special speech of Prime Minister Hun Sen at the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction this morning at Sinsuk District in Phnom Penh. We will also give our latest updates for what's happening right now after the speech of the Prime Minister with our EAC News reporter Hun Seriwat, who is on standby at the venue. Just a recap of what the Prime Minister says in his speech this morning. The Prime Minister says that despite the negative comments being thrown by different groups, different people towards the Cambodian government about the Paris Peace Agreement, the Prime Minister says that the Royal Kingdom, the royal government of Cambodia is following and respecting the Paris Peace Agreement. However, they also need to follow the constitution here in the kingdom. Let's get a situational report right now with our EAC News reporter Hun Seriwat as up to the latest after the speech of Prime Minister Hun Sen. Hun, how's the latest up there?
Sorry, I can speak again.
What is the situation right now, just a few minutes after Prime Minister Hun Sen delivered his speech on the inauguration of the new building of the Ministry of Land Management? How is it right now in there?
Yes, the Prime Minister just finished his speech about 9:55 a.m. and now he are giving the medals to the high official that are doing a great job in his work for the Ministry of Land Management.
We have heard that the Prime Minister says he will go to the Council of Ministers, and also today he will meet the Foreign Minister of Australia at the Peace Palace. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. After he finished the inauguration of the Ministry of Land Management, he will go to Peace Palace to discussion with the Minister of the Foreign Affairs of the Australia. He predicts that the discussion will be focused on AUKUS, about the submarine of the Australia that used by that used by nuclear power. That this is the very hot issue in the region.
Thank you so much, Hun Siriwad. And more information or more recap about the Prime Minister's message this morning. He says that the Minister of Defense will be inaugurated, the building of Minister of Defense will be inaugurated on 29 December. And in addition, the Prime Minister was very keen to wearing a mask. He observed, according to him, when he was going to the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction prior to the inauguration, he says he saw 3 persons that were not wearing a mask. One of them was, he said, was probably one of the security personnel. The mask was on the face, but it was lowered. So that means Prime Minister Hun Sen, being the leader of the Kingdom of Cambodia, is really very strict when it comes to the proper protocol in preventing the spread of COVID-19. So that ends our special coverage for the inauguration of the Ministry of Land Management and Urban Planning and Construction in Sensok District at Phnom Penh, live here on the EAC News channel. This is Rhea Soko. A very good morning to you.